I'd like to share with you two Bible verses. The first comes from Psalm 82, verse 4. Rescue the weak and the needy, deliver them from the hand of the wicked. And then from the prophet Isaiah, chapter 58, verses 6 and 7. Is not this the fast that I chose, to loose the bonds of wickedness, to undo the straps of the yoke, to let the oppressed go free, and to break every yoke? Is it not to share your bread with the hungry and bring the homeless poor into your house, when you see the naked to cover him, and not to hide yourself from your own flesh? Here ends our readings for today. Well, today we want to welcome Matthew and Melissa Stock. They are missionaries who are living and serving in Cambodia, using their God-given gifts and their years of experience in anti-trafficking work in Cambodia since 2013. Messiah, we began supporting the Stocks just before they were ready to move and live and serve and minister to the Cambodian people 10 years ago. Over the years, they've become dear friends and partners in the work of the gospel. Their work involves supporting the efforts of multiple anti-trafficking organizations. They work with others to develop and strategize organizational policies, procedures, and best practices. They mentor national Cambodian leaders and cultivate leadership skills among Cambodians to provide human services, such as residential care, mentorship for victims of trafficking, or those who've otherwise been disenfranchised from society. We're so thankful to be walking alongside them and for their commitment to doing justice, loving mercy, and walking so humbly alongside their God. They're also going to have some products for sale here at Messiah on Sunday morning, the products that are made by their Cambodian brothers and sisters that help support these beautiful people as they work to rebuild their shattered lives. They've sent us a couple videos and a message that we're going to be sharing with you now. On Sunday, they're actually going to be live in person at Messiah. If you'd like to support their ministry, you can make a donation online by clicking the Give Now button. Scroll down to Global Concerns under Giving Type and type in Cambodia into the note line. And now I'd like to introduce to you my friends, Matthew and Melissa Stock.
Hi, we are Matthew and Melissa Stock, and we are sending you this from our apartment in Cambodia. And we just want to thank you for listening today and being a part of worship from wherever you are. And we have been associated with Messiah Lutheran for over 10 years, if you can believe that. It was 10 years ago this past January. Wow. that we visited for the first time ever and introduced the ministry that we were moving over to Cambodia to be a part of. And so it's really kind of surreal that we are past the 10-year mark in our ministry and our journey here. And our goal, our ministry in Cambodia, is to come alongside leaders of organizations that are working to prevent sex trafficking of women and children in Cambodia. And what we do, we have the honor of walking alongside some incredibly skilled Cambodians. And this is in an effort to help them communicate better, connect better, and influence in their leadership positions, and work with them on effective multicultural understanding.
So Cambodia's history is very deep, very complex, and full of trauma and tragedy. A third of the population was killed during the Pol Pot regime, also known as the Khmer Rouge, which left them with a loss in terms of moral cultural center, because instead of two cultures fighting and one culture emerging, it was instead a culture turned in on itself. So Cambodia's needed significant infrastructure rebuild for years. So what we get to do is, with all these NGOs that have come to assist in the rebuild and restructure of Cambodia, we get to kind of bridge the cultural gap, because we've been here for 10 years. We help Westerners speak Cambodian and Cambodians speak Westerners, because there's a lot of cultural complications that come with doing leadership styles and different cultural methods, different cultural understandings. And so we're still working in the anti-trafficking area, but now get to work with multiple NGOs. And what happened was during COVID, a lot of the Western leadership that were at the top of a lot of these organizations, they left. And so now these Khmer leaders need support. They need revisioning in a new style, in a new world. And this is what we get to be a part of.
Kind of helping redefine what is sustainable. And it's just incredible walking alongside these teams in their leadership journeys. Some of them were there once a week, some of them were there once a month. And we're back and forth from Phnom Penh to Siem Reap, and we're working with people that we've been engaged with for the past 10 years. So it's pretty incredible. And God really provided in our lives through COVID. And I know that each one of us could talk for a while about situations that we went through and seeing the praises that what God has done through that. And so I'm thankful for how God worked in Matthew's life.
As I mentioned just a minute ago, COVID had a lot of the Western leadership leaving, people concerned, really just not knowing how this was all going to turn out. And we were personally impacted by the disease. We took a trip to China in late 2019. I contracted COVID, which, long story short, led to some heart damage, a couple of strokes. It just really did a number on my body. And so part of my healing journey has been to intentionally do long, slow, deep, steady work. And so because of the work we've done with Cambodian families, if I'm going to do this study, I figured I might as well earn a degree. So I am in the midst of attaining my Master of Arts in Clinical Mental Health with a focus on trauma and marriage and family therapy, because the structure of the family is one of the root issues that we're dealing with, again, from the ramifications of the genocide in this country.
So when we first met, so many of you 10 years ago, we were with one organization up in Siem Reap, and then we transitioned down here to Phnom Penh. And at the beginning of 2022, we transitioned out of that organization and we started working with these Cambodian leadership teams. And this way, we're able to do trainings, we're able to step and walk alongside, but not as a boss, with these organizations. And we listen to cultural challenges they're having. We embrace new solutions. A lot of times we talk about, well, here's the Cambodian challenge and here's the Western challenge, and how do we approach this from a kingdom perspective? So we turn to the Bible. What does the Bible say? What does God's word say about this? And then in the middle of all this, I'm really excited because I am blessed to work alongside some Cambodian musicians, and I am working with piano students that are at university level, and they have been doing music studies with me so that they can go back to their villages, do music there, and my goal with them is raising them up to be future leaders and trainers and future worship leaders. And so they're already sending me back videos when they go to the village, standing there, and in the middle of, there's a field behind them and a little keyboard that's plugged into a car battery, and they're playing those 6 chords, and they are smiling and they are loving it. And it's been such a gift to be able to do that. As Matthew is working on his degree, I'm in the process of finishing up a Master of Arts in Leadership, dealing specifically with nonprofit leadership, and I've been able to use that over here as I help teams connect their needs with resources through international organizations, with local organizations, and just helping other Cambodians make a difference in their communities by what they are doing. And so this has just been such a gift to have all of these other things going on that God has dropped into our lives while we've been here. And so as we walk alongside these churches, as we participate with our church, our focus is to intentionally choose joy. There has been difficulty the past 10 years, just through different transitions, through understanding cultures, through missing family that's across the world through dealing with health challenges. And so we are always trying to turn to be anxious for nothing, right? The Bible says be anxious for nothing. And so often we say, well, I'm going to be anxious for almost nothing, right? Right. I'm going to be anxious for just this 5% that I want to hold on to this. I'm going to be okay with this, and this, but I'm going to be anxious about his health. And that's not what God says to do. God says be anxious for nothing. And so in trying to do that, we have had to intentionally choose joy and say, no, today I'm not going to let Satan rob me of my joy because I'm holding on to that 5% of angst, of frustration, of confusion, of bitterness. And so as we've done that, we want to thank you all. We want to thank you because you have supported us through that. You have prayed for us. Some of you have supported us personally, and you have walked alongside prayer letters and updates and asked questions and sent emails back and checked in with us, or had a car that we could borrow when we were visiting family in Southern California. That's a big deal. And so thank you for your support, because of your support, we were able to oversee a team that had hundreds, that was impacting thousands of lives in Phnom Penh. Because of your support, we walked alongside 60 incredible women in Siem Reap that were healing from the trafficking situations they were coming in. And as they were transitioning to safe employment, they needed people to walk alongside them. And because of your investment into our lives and our ministry, we were able to be a part of that. And now we continue to walk alongside of them and show up at the weddings and encourage them when they have the babies and the new jobs. And so we just want to thank you for supporting us, for partnering with us, for helping us partner with Cambodian leaders and fight these issues that are surrounding trafficking.
They're involved in the rescue, if that's the word. I want to be careful with that word, because what they're doing is they're stepping out into the communities and as Cambodians and supporting and giving resources to Cambodians, working in restoration work, in shelters and in group homes, the transitional part of finding, training, and employment, and the very, very important part of prevention. And that again is what we get to do in sitting down with these leaders, helping them develop infrastructure, work on their teamwork, work on their connectedness, their connection to the Spirit that is the driving force of their energy, so that they can step out and continue to love and support the communities that they're from and that they're impacted by. So prevention efforts are so important to support, and there are massive needs for water, education, and housing. All these contribute to the issues around trafficking problems, the economic lack of economic opportunities that lead to these types of things taking place. When these needs are addressed and children are able to go to school, there's a less chance that they will be trafficked, because they're poured into, given opportunity that their parents never had. And so we're excited and thanking you again for investing in us so that we can help invest in these teams, they can invest in their communities, and invest in the future of these families and these children.
So thank you again for walking alongside and being a part. And if you are interested in signing up for our newsletter or hearing updates, Pastor Bob can connect you and give you that information. And we love informing people what's happening over here in Cambodia. So thank you again. God bless you. And we look forward to hearing back from you.